than simply the Afghan war. We've got to talk about the foreign policies and the political direction of the country that gets us into these wars. Ours is a militaristic society. We've got to face that fact. We've got to come to terms with the fact that we cannot sustain democracy if we continue to practice militarism. The two are incompatible. If we're going to come to terms with it, we have to talk about what it's going to take to transition to a peace economy. What would a sustainable peace economy look like? What would that mean for the millions of workers who depend on the military industries for their livelihoods and the communities whose tax base depends on it? Well, I submit to you that there's more than enough money in the military budget right now to pay every defense worker for life, income and benefits, to pay the cost of their retraining, to pay the cost of their relocation to any place in the country they want to go, to pay the cost of their pensions and early retirement, if that's what it takes, and still have billions of dollars left over to deal with the fact that we've got, by some calculations, let's see, I've got those figures here, 25% of our bridges are substandard and need repair, 33% of our roads, 10% of our water systems, and according to the American Federation of Teachers, America's schools require $255 billion in repair and replacement. What could we be using that treasure for if it weren't being used for militarism? Do you feel safer because we've got 865 foreign bases in 63 countries around the world? Are we really safer as a result? Or are those bases simply an invitation to military attacks or civilian conflicts that get us into another war? Is there any justification for our having troops stationed in Germany, in France, in England? The U.S. outspends China, Russia, England, Germany, France, Italy, Saudi Arabia, India, and Israel combined in military spending. 42% of all the money spent on the military in the world is spent by the United States. 23% of all go to NATO allies. So NATO and the U.S. together is 65%. The so-called axis of evil, all of the countries combined spend 1%. We have 350,000 troops, not including the troops currently stationed in Iraq, Afghanistan, and I suspect Pakistan, and perhaps Yemen. We have 350,000 troops permanently stationed in foreign bases around the world. In 146 countries. And we spend $272 billion a year to maintain them, and $100 billion for the bases. That's $372 billion per year to maintain a global network of military bases. Since World War II, we have bombed or occupied 26 countries, and a number of them more than once and several more than twice. We have got to come to terms with the policies that lead us to these disasters. And that means coming to terms with the politics that create the politicians that create the policies. I just returned from Washington, D.C. I participated in the One Nation Working Together demonstration. Organizers estimate 175,000. Some people said 200,000, others said fewer. It doesn't matter, there were a lot of people. It was the most diverse assemblage of Americans that I have ever witnessed in my lifetime, and perhaps ever. Most of the people there were working people. Even though the official sponsors of the demonstration did not want to talk about war, because they were afraid it would embarrass the president. In spite of that fact, the vast majority of people who showed up there carried a sign that talked about peace in one form or another. The overwhelming majority of the people in this country are opposed to the Afghan war and the Iraq war. The overwhelming majority. But we have a political system that doesn't allow that majority to express itself in the polls. Because that system is controlled by corporate money. And it doesn't matter whether you're talking about Democrats or Republicans, but two parties are two parties of corporations and corporate money. They represent an elite that is the economic and political elite of the country, and they pass the laws and adopt the policies that serve their interests. We have got to take back our government in order to end the course that we are on. If we don't, we're all going to pay that price.